So the story we're diving into today, it's not just one unexplained event. It's a whole chain of them, all tangled up with one British police officer. We're talking about a case that connects a truly mysterious death, a classic UFO sighting, and a personal miracle that just defies all logic. So, I want you to picture the scene. It's West Yorkshire, England, back in 1980. Think quiet industrial towns, rolling hills, the last place on Earth you'd expect something truly extraordinary to happen. And at the center of all this is PC Alan Godfrey. He's just a regular cop doing his job, patrolling the quiet roads in the wee hours of the morning. A totally normal, routine part of police work. But on one specific patrol, something happened that completely blew that routine to bits, and it would connect him to a string of events so strange, they honestly sound like they're made up. All right, let's get into the heart of it. We're in the early morning of November 28th. PC Godfrey is out on patrol, and things are about to get really, really weird. So the setup here is already a little strange. Godfrey was actually out looking into reports of a herd of cows that kept vanishing and then reappearing in odd places. It was during that patrol that he spotted this brilliant light up the road. As he got closer, he saw it was this massive craft, just hovering silently about 5 feet off the ground. And he got a great look at it. He described it being about 4 meters high and 6 meters wide, with this bottom section that was spinning, while the top part, which looked like it had windows, was perfectly still. Instantly, his police instincts took over. He grabs his radio to call for backup, and nothing. It's completely dead. Not even static. So, what does he do? He does the next best thing a cop can do. He whips out his notepad and starts sketching this unbelievable thing right in front of him. Oh, and that weird cow situation, it just got weirder. Later on, Godfrey and 3 other officers found the entire herd huddled inside a fenced-in garden. The gate was shut tight, there were no tracks in the muddy ground. So the big question is, how on earth did they get in there? But here's the thing. PC Godfrey's run-in with the unexplained didn't actually start that night. To really get the whole picture, we have to rewind about 5 months to a completely different case he was assigned to. A case that was just as strange, maybe even more disturbing. So, what we have here are 2 major unexplained events happening just months apart, and the same police officer is right at the center of both of them. First, this incredibly strange death of a man named Zigmund Adamski, and then Godfrey's own UFO close encounter. The details of this Adamski case are just deeply unsettling. His body was discovered on top of a 10-foot-high pile of coal. But get this, there were no footprints, no tracks, nothing to show how he got up there. It literally looked like he was just dropped from the sky. His clothes were all messed up like someone else had dressed him in a hurry. And the physical evidence? Even weirder. He had these strange burns on his neck and shoulders, covered in some kind of odd gel-like goo. And when they sent that substance to the lab for analysis, the conclusion they came back with was just stunning. They said the material could not be identified as anything known to exist on Earth. So, despite all of this bizarre evidence, the body's location, the burns, the otherworldly substance, the official coroner's verdict was a heart attack. And the cause? They speculated that he was literally scared to death by something. So after his UFO sighting, things really started to get complicated for Godfrey. About a year later, a journalist connected the dots between the 2 cases, and Godfrey started looking for answers about a chunk of his own memory that was just gone from that night. Right. So when a reporter realized that the same PC Godfrey who saw the UFO was also the first officer on the scene for the bizarre Adamski death, the story just exploded in the national news. And for Godfrey's career, it was a disaster. His coworkers started treating him like a joke, and he felt like his superiors were basically pushing him to quit. But here's where it gets even stranger for him personally. He remembered seeing the craft, and he remembered being back in his car driving away, but there was a gap. A solid 15 to 20 minutes just vanished from his memory. So to try and figure out what happened in that lost time, he agreed to undergo hypnotic regression. And under hypnosis, a terrifying memory came flooding back. He recalled being hit by a beam of light from the craft, and then blackout. The next thing he knew, he woke up in a strange room. He said he was met by this tall, bearded figure in a white robe who was with several smaller, kind of odd-looking creatures. But then, for reasons that have never been made clear, the hypnotist stopped the session right there before he could remember how it all ended. So another piece of the puzzle is just missing. Now, the story doesn't stop there with a UFO abduction memory. Honestly, the most unbelievable part of Alan Godfrey's entire ordeal might be what happened to him personally months after the sighting. Okay, so check this out. 3 years before any of this happened, Godfrey got badly injured on duty. The injury left him medically sterile, and doctors flat out told him he and his wife could never have more children. Then, months after his UFO encounter, something incredible happens. He and his wife hear this strange noise in their bedroom one night. The next morning, he wakes up and just feels completely healed. And sure enough, just a few weeks later, his wife was pregnant. His own doctors were absolutely baffled. They had no medical explanation for it. They couldn't explain it, so they basically confirmed that his recovery was, for all intents and purposes, a miracle. Godfrey and his wife were convinced that those beings he met had something to do with it. So when you try to put all these pieces together, what you're left with is just one of the most complex, layered, and frankly baffling cases I have ever come across. So let's just recap the sheer strangeness here. It kicks off with the Adamski case, a body that seems to have fallen from the sky, covered in unearthly goo. Then, the police officer on that case has his own intense UFO encounter, complete with missing time. Under hypnosis, he remembers being taken aboard a ship. And to top it all off, he experiences an impossible, miraculous physical healing. So, what do we do with all this? Are these 4 incredible, life-altering events just a string of unbelievable coincidences that all happened to the same guy? Or do they all point to a genuine, profound, and deeply strange connection to something not of this world? That's the question that still hangs over the bizarre case of Alan Godfrey.